Hello and welcome to your Advanced USANA Wednesday webinar training. My name is Jared Krebs. I am coming at you live from San Antonio, Texas. And before we bring in our special guest and have his story, I want to remind you of 10 things to expect when building your USANA business. Number one, there will be ups and downs, just like anything. Number two, success or failure is up to you. If you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you, not because the person who invited you to USANA. Number three, the goal is for you to become independent and be an independent leader for your team. Number four, make your plan on the weekends. Do it, review, and make adjustments. Plan, do, review, adjust. Number five, it's going to take time. It's going to take 1 year to become competent at the skills to do this. It's going to take 3 years to build a significant part-time income. It's going to take 5 years to build a full-time income and 7 years to become world-class. It can happen faster, but it's going to take time. Number six, it takes consistent work and hustle. Got to be consistent. That's the name of the game. Number seven, you're going to have to grow and get outside of your comfort zone. Number eight, mental toughness is necessary. Number nine, the grass is not greener in other companies. I've seen people leave USANA. They never make it what they made with their USANA business. And number 10, this is a long-term game. USANA is 27 years strong with over $2.5 billion paid to its associates. It's allowed me and my wife, Crystal, to have a full-time income for over a decade, as well as thousands of people around the world, and hundreds of thousands have made a part-time income with USANA. So again, this is a long-term game, and always remember that amateurs just sell products, but professionals sell the vision. Always make sure you're sharing everything that USANA has to offer, from the tax savings to the financial freedom to the products to the community. There's so much that we have here, and few have done it as well as Dr. Peter Rugg, who is in Boston, Massachusetts, and he's live with us today. Dr. Peter, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. We are so excited to hear your story. I actually don't know your whole story, so I'm really excited. And take it away. We want to hear what your life was like before USANA, how you found USANA, some of the challenges you overcame, because I know you're also a gold director as an associate. And yeah, and then we'll open it up for questions in about 15 to 20 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Jared. Pleasure to be here. Hi, everybody. So I am a medical doctor. So Dr. Peter Rugg. I've been in medical practice since the early 80s. I've been practicing a number of different specialties, and prior to becoming a physician, I was a neuroscientist. So I've got a basic scientific background, studied a lot of this data and experiments and research and et cetera, et cetera. And I became a medical doctor because I have a passion to keep people healthy. And my specialties, I'm board certified in internal medicine, board certified in emergency medicine, and currently practice functional medicine. My wife, Patty, and I have been together for, well over 40 years, and have four grown children, one plus grandchildren, and just are enjoying life so much. We have a business together. We are Rugg Wellness. We are a professional corporation, and we practice medicine, functional medicine, and my wife, Patty, is an integrative nutrition health coach. So the two of us work together synergistically, cooperatively, lovingly to really help people, and that's our mission in life. And one of the things we utilize to help people is USANA Health Sciences, because USANA Health Sciences for us is a vehicle, it's a path, it's a mission. It is in us. It is our life. It's what we've been doing for, I think this is our 20th year now. And so really loving it. So where was I before USANA? So I've told you a little bit. I was running a number of emergency departments, teaching emergency medicine and internal medicine at the medical school here in Massachusetts, practicing day and night. Never really had a built-in circadian rhythm. My shift schedule was that I would be working sometimes overnight, sometimes the day after that, the day, then evenings, and back and forth. Patty's raising 4 young children. We had 4 within 6 years, so we're pretty busy with that. And she's volunteering throughout the community. And she has a medical problem. So her medical problem has been looked at by a number of physicians, and they don't really know exactly what the diagnosis, but they think it's some sort of inflammatory process, and treat her with all sorts of medications and have her see all sorts of specialists. And a friend finally comes up to her and says, I know this company that you might benefit from. So then she introduces her to USANA. I was of the old school where vitamins, and in my day of practicing medicine, the early days of practicing medicine, we were told and taught that you could get everything you need from your food. And certainly it's really important to eat well as part of a healthy lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, we live a healthy lifestyle, we practice a healthy lifestyle, and we teach a healthy lifestyle. And part of that is supplementation. And so Patty, because of her friend who introduced her to USANA, became an associate back in the late 90s and started taking USANA Health Sciences products at the time. And he asked me what I thought, and I thought, sure, go ahead. If you think it's going to help, it can't hurt. And I saw within her, within a month or so, major changes in which in a short while she was able to stop taking all of the medication that she was prescribed. And so I said, maybe I should try this. And she said, Peter, you should try this. This is really beneficial to our health. It will be to your health. And as I said, from my schedule, I was permanently jet lagged. I had no circadian rhythm. I mean, it was nights, evenings, days, back, forth, no fixed schedule, no rotating schedule, just sort of a shuffled schedule. And once I started taking the USANA Health Science products and their supplements, I started feeling much more rested, despite my crazy life, in emergency medicine, and much more rested, much more energy, much more invigorated, and haven't stopped since. So, basically pumped. So USANA Health Sciences, to me, was a turning point in my life, because what I recognized was, even though I thought I was healthy, I could certainly be healthier. And by incorporating the best supplements that we could find, and we did our due diligence. We traveled out to Utah. We met with Dr. Wentz. We met with the R&D team. We looked at the products. We looked across the board. Met with Lala McWilliam, who is the author of the Comparative Guide. Met with Tim Wood, who was the head of R&D at the time, and essentially became involved with USANA. Over the years, I was very involved with the R&D team because I was passionate about what would help us. Became a member of the board of the medical advisory board of USANA, which subsequently became the scientific advisory board. And I chaired that committee for about a decade before we broke away, say, 4 years ago now. And most of their R&D is totally in-house by the scientists, and we have studies that we do with a number of other colleges, universities, independent corporations. One famous one on proflavanol came out of Boston University here in my home state, on looking at proflavanol in people that had known heart disease and how it could improve their blood flow. And so these are the things that I'm passionate about. So I look at the research, I read the research, but what did I find that, aside from, getting healthier myself? So Patty said, this is a great business, right? So Patty's an associate. She says, can you become my co-applicant? So, I started off by basically talking about what I found to be interesting on what you used to call Super Saturdays. I would lecture on product. I would lecture on why we thought that these supplements would really be beneficial to your health. Brought in a little bit of the research. And as we did that, we started to grow a business, right? One of and the business has grown, as Jared had said, we're gold directors. We enjoy that. And we continue to grow our business. We've had setbacks, we've had major movements forward, we've had setbacks, major movement forwards. And from our perspective, and actually let me just speak from my perspective right now, one of the problems that I feel is that, so this guy's a doctor, right? And he can talk about all of these things from a knowledge base, from a professional base, I mean, I'm not an MBA, So I don't talk about it. They're not saying he's talking about from the business base, but I'm an MD, right? And a researcher and a scientist, and I practice all this medical stuff. So I understand the endoplasmic reticulum and all of these other words that people can't even think about, let alone understand what they do. So I'm not duplicatable. I can't do what this doctor's doing. So how do I follow them in this business? So that was a hurdle for us. So what we have learned to do over time is we are looking at lifestyle. So we simplify. So what is it? It's exercise, it's sleep, it's love, it's diet, right? It's looking at what you are doing in terms of your life, what supplements you're taking, how much rest you're getting, how much water you're drinking, all of the components that you would think go into a healthy lifestyle. That's becoming more and more, common to see in the press, in the media today. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Instagram. Right now I talk about, so we used to talk about smoking being the bad thing. And then recently it was sitting is the new smoking. So for me, what I'm lecturing on just this past week was, so sleep deprivation, right? Sleep deprivation, and people suffer from this. Sleep deprivation is the new smoking. And we're looking at these fancy things we call tau proteins. What's a tau protein? Doesn't really matter. But what it can do is it can lead to Alzheimer's disease, right? And people know what that is. So we simplify. We talk about if you're not getting your 7 to 8 to 9, depending upon your age, and good quality sleep at night, and we teach this to people. So how do we help you? Well, in addition to all of this, you need to supplement. And we have a group that's working together, that's educating, that's training, that's teaching, that's going out in the community. We're going on media like this. We're going on Zoom. We're doing Facebook Live. We're teaching about the brain-gut connection, right? And why the gut matters. We're using Tel Aviv to talk about healthy skin and how this skin is your largest organ, as we all know. So this is something that people can then be educated in and learn from. So I hope that answers a few of your questions. Where are we going from here? I'm still practicing medicine. I love practicing medicine. We practice functional medicine, which is to me lifestyle medicine, right? I see a number of patients on a regular basis. We help them stay healthy. Our goal is to want everyone to, as Dr. Wen says, be the healthiest family on the planet. And we want to help that family to grow and to be healthy and to be strong. So Jared, I hope that helps. Is there something else that I can
Yes.
add?
First of all, thank you for sharing your story. That's wild how you were so busy with your life, raising 4 kids. You had 4 kids within 6 years.
Yes.
Wow, that's tremendous. I have two. I have 2 sisters. They both have 2 kids, and one of them, it's like they're a year apart. And oh my God, they're a handful. They're like 1 and 2 years old. But I mean, I can only imagine doing 4 in 6 years. That's quite a motivating.
With me working so busy in the hospital and teaching and everything that I was doing, Patty had 4 teenagers at once, plus all of the work she was doing in the community.
Yeah, I forgot they're going to be teenagers.
It's one thing to have 4 preschoolers, but it's nothing to have 4 teenagers. So, and it was a challenge at times for certain. Busy and driving people. She would talk about one of the things she loved doing was starting off every morning with a shake. Every morning, people got a USANA shake. All of our kids did, and our younger daughter, would say, Mom, this is really interesting. At 10 o'clock in the morning, this is when she was in high school, I'm the only one who's awake. All the other kids seem to be asleep, or fading. But she had her shake in the morning that carried her blood sugar through for the day. It's all low glycemic, so she didn't get that, that rush and that crash in the blood sugar that people get when they eat like a bagel and some cream cheese and some OJ, whatever it is they have to run out the door. And then by 10 o'clock, they're going, I'm kind of like, down to head down on the desk. So our younger daughter, Catherine, would find out that she was and so after school, Patty would be taking these kids to all these different events and sports and dance and, debate and all these other activities. And they'll be changing clothes if they needed to, and then they'll get their afternoon shake, right? So that would be, a nice little snack. So they would get their calories, they would get healthy proteins, healthy fats, healthy carbohydrates, and that would sustain them through if they had a soccer match or a baseball game or whatever it might be doing. The swim meet, they would be ready to go, energized, and carried them right through to dinner. So that was a real benefit of USANA for us.
Wow, I love it. It's such exciting information. Seeing your kids grow up and have that extra advantage with their health, it's priceless. It's priceless.
Absolutely.
And we're going to open it up for questions right now. So I just want to say to our friends watching on Facebook Live, type in your questions on the Facebook Live comments, and then I will ask them to Dr. Peter Rugg. And then also our Zoom team members have already started asking questions. You guys know the drill already. So I'm going to start with the first question from Sue-Ann Knobloch, who's actually a nurse in San Antonio. And she says, where can we look up all the good studies you mentioned?
Well, so I do my research, a lot of it on PubMed. I will do Google Scholar. I'm a member. I use one of the things I would recommend to anybody who is interested actually in the science of supplements is to consider subscribing to Consumer Labs. Now, that's not Consumer Reports. Consumer Labs, as you know, USANA has been vetted by them a number of times, and a good number of their products have been endorsed by Consumer Labs. And it's different from the FDA. It's an independent organization, different from Lyle's Corporation. What it does is it looks at supplements, and it looks at foods, and it actually compares them head to head. It looks for toxicity, heavy metals, things of this nature. And if you're looking to find out what might be the best form of turmeric or curcumin to have, it'll give you information on that. And USANA is always brought in as a supplement, and whether they are acceptable or not acceptable. So it's a good resource if people are asking you questions about particular ingredients. Let's say they want to ask you about grapeseed extract, you could look it up on Consumer Labs. And I do a lot of research on the web itself and then talk about that. So you're happy, comfortable if you want to look at our website, ruggwellness.com. We have blogs on there and newsletters on there as well. That will, from time to time, we will footnote the research we're doing, and on our Facebook posts as well.
Love it. Thank you for sharing that. Consumerlabs.com and PubMed. Thank you, Sue-Ann. Great question. Okay, Phyllis Walker from Salt Lake City asks, what is the book you recommend to us?
The book, well, it depends on what you like to read. Right now, I am looking at the 5-second rule. 5-second rule or 5-minute rule, right? Which this 5-second rule. So she's coming to town next week out of Harvard, and it is a book that basically talks about doing it, right? Doing it, and there's TED Talks, and for some reason the author's name is I'm missing it right now. Mel
Robbins.
Mel Robbins. Yeah, right. Thank you, Jared. And she is an outstanding speaker, an outstanding writer. And what she does is she has you focused. It's better. It's more than a laser focus. It's you have something that comes to your mind. Take care of it. And at the very least, put it on a list that you're going to do within the next 5 minutes. But take care of it. Don't procrastinate. Don't put things off to the side. Make sure they get done. That you're on top of your game. And then just from a funky perspective, I'm reading Language on the Move, right? So that's about the English language and how words are used and how words develop. It's kind of interesting, but that's me.
Awesome. Well, I got to say, it's cool to hear that you're studying the same personal development things that we're studying. As an MD, you're still using your business stuff, building yourself into as a business builder as well, because obviously it's all related. I'm sure Yes. It really impacts your business you're building with your wellness center. And the 5-second rule's just been phenomenal for me too. It's like I get a thought and it's like the text is already sent.
Exactly.
Old Jared would have not sent that text for the whole day or might not have gotten to it, right? So like things like that. Great stuff. Thank you. Okay, who else has questions? I know that we have several here on the Zoom webinar. Feel free to type in your question. And then I'm going to check on Facebook. So while I'm checking for questions, I have one. What How did having USANA products in your family's life impact your kids throughout their development? So like, they started out with USANA, right? Like kind of they were babies or whatnot, and then all the way through growing up. Like what did you notice and how did it impact your family?
So focus, right? Decreased of illnesses, so common colds, things of this nature, much fewer of them. Kids seem to get better sleep, be better rested. Mood was certainly affected. So I would say that illnesses, energy. So all of my kids were athletes. One of them is still a pro athlete, and one just retired from his rugby career. So they were very much physically active. No bragging, but my kids have done very well in school. So their mental clarity, their ability to focus in school was helped by USANA, and their mood. Kids can get grumpy, however they might be, but our kids seem to have a bit more of a stable mood with USANA, and we attribute a lot of that to the we could say essential fatty acids that they were given twice a day. So sometimes back when there was Optomega, which was a flaxseed, because one of our kids was certainly very much a vegetarian, was given that, and the rest were given the fish oil, and so the Biomega, and we felt that helped with clarity, focus. The kids really benefited from that. And also healing from injuries. We found that the Biomega would help restore blood flow to ligaments. So anytime that they had a sprain, we found that this was also very helpful. And I've lectured on that in the past as well. The benefit of the essential fatty acids in recovery after exercise. It's an interesting topic because there's something called a stimulus fatigue recovery curve. It's sort of like a little S wave. And when you're an athlete or anyone exercise, a weekend warrior, whatever you might be, you go out and you go for a run or a bike ride or whatever, ski down a mountain, and you get fatigued. You beat your muscles down, and then so what happens is then you need to recover, right? And so with the essential fatty acids, and we've looked at the research on this and studied it, the ability to recover is shrunk. And we work with professional athletes. We've worked with runners, boxers, skiers, skaters. The ability to recover is shortened, so you get back out there sooner, and your recovery is higher, so you actually gain. So the essential fatty acids we found were very beneficial to the children and to the adults and athletes we've worked with over the years. We're very much closely affiliated with the sports medicine department at the University of Massachusetts, and they are the Red Sox physicians, as well as some of the Patriots physicians. And the Red Sox, just won the World Series, and the Patriots are heading to the Super Bowl. So we've got some good sports teams here in Boston. Not to brag, but the Bruins we always follow, and the Celtics have always been a very good team. But we worked with some of the Red Sox and some of the Patriots, and they benefit truly.
Have you given them USANA?
Difficult question to answer.
I know you heard it first here, folks. No, I know you can't say like exactly everything because you don't want to like have them endorse USANA or whatever. But it's pretty neat that that you can be able to give an athlete something or send an athlete in a direction that helps them recover faster.
Absolutely. And this is not just for professional athletes. This is for myself and yourself and anybody out there who is looking to heal sprains and strains and recover just from their exercise.
So I have a friend who just tore his patellar tendon.
Sure.
And so, I mean, not to make a health claim or a recommendation, but if I was, it would be good for me to have him take lots of Biomega and Proflavanol, right? And
absolutely.
Those
absolutely.
And you said to help with the blood flow into the recovery. I actually didn't know that, but I take quite a bit of Biomega, and I also work out 6 days a week, and I probably couldn't do that without all my USANA, and recovery.
Exactly. So just a little anecdote. We have one friend, we have the Boston Marathon here on Patriots Day every year. And we have one friend, the first year that they did it, they couldn't walk for 3 days. And then they found us in USANA, and the second year that they did it, they were going up and downstairs the day after the marathon, and they had run a better time. So, and that was with primarily good training as well as a good dose of the essential fatty acids, which you find in the USANA Biomega. You know, the fish oil.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love these products, man.
And no heavy metals, right?
That's right. No contaminants.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right. So, Dr. Peter, what is your final piece of advice as we come up on the half hour for everybody who might see this recording in the future, associates that are live right now? What's like the main thing that you would want to partake for them to take with if they took anything from this call?
So for me, to recommend to people is to really focus on your entire lifestyle. So your entire lifestyle is what you put in your body, right? That's really important. You want to make sure that you have a healthy gut, that if your gut is not healthy, that you heal it, that you take the proper supplements. And I'm sure Jared and anybody else that you're working with, if you're a guest on this call, the people that brought you to the call can help you with that. So the proper diet, the proper supplementation, and supplementation, I feel you can't get everything that you need from your food. Rest is really key. A good night's sleep. The Dalai Lama, one of my favorite quotes, he says, sleep is the best meditation. You get so much. Your cerebral spinal fluid cleans out all of the trash in your brain, and you recycle your antioxidants better with a good night's sleep. So I would say sleep, decreasing stress, exercise, diet, supplementation. So it's all part of, as Dr. Wen says, you can't just take one vitamin. Everything's in a milieu. So for us to live the healthiest life that we can live, we need to have all of the components working cooperatively, cohesively, synergistically. So I want everybody to stay healthy, be healthy, get your rest, eat well, take your supplements, drink plenty of water. Thank you.
I think we lost Jared.
We may have. I wasn't sure if the call had ended, so.
Well, I see he's there, but he's got his mic off. This is Phyllis Walker. Thank you, Dr. Rugg.
Okay, guys.
Are we all set there, Jared?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Technology happened is what happened.
It does.
Okay, I'm hearing the Facebook Live. We're on like this big delay. Okay, Dr. Peter Rugg, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Thank you for your great advice, especially at the end on the lifestyle, on living holistically, getting the proper sleep, the exercise, the micronutrients, the macronutrients, like all this. I can tell you that being around this culture for 13 years has totally impacted my adult life. And I'm so grateful to know great people like you. So thank you again. Let's go ahead and unmute the lines. And everybody, I'm going to unmute you right now. Say thank you, Dr. Peter, and have an awesome day.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Rugg.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting
Dr.
me.
Peter.
Thank
Nice
you.
to be here.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Dr.
great
Peter.
day.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you right now. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.